like to introduce Dr. Brodie to say a few words.
Good afternoon. I am very pleased to be here today and to participate in this extremely important announcement with Minister Cash-Heed. This is an issue whose time has come. There's clear evidence that using mobile devices while driving increases the likelihood of automobile crashes and injury. It's time to get the eyes of BC drivers back on the road. The BC Medical Association has been advocating for a greater restriction on cell phone use while driving since 1999. At that time, very few jurisdictions anywhere in the world had a ban on the use of cell phones while driving. Restricting an activity that some people might believe to be their right is not an easy task. And so we are extremely pleased that our government has taken this bold step and is doing the right thing. BC is not only caught up with other jurisdictions, but is now ahead in several ways. There was a time not too long ago when I believed that no one should tell me when and where I could not use my cell phone. Driving was a time when I made those important phone calls that I couldn't do in a busy office. But I now most definitely have changed my mind and my attitude. No conversation is worth putting somebody else's life and safety at risk. Physicians see the results of those injured in a car crash due to a distracted driver far too often. Using a cell phone reduces our peripheral vision and it delays our reaction time. In the last few years, studies have shown that people talking on a cell phone while driving are 4 times more likely to be in a car crash than drivers not using a cell phone. But that pales next to the dangers of texting and driving. Texting while driving simply has no place on BC's roads. We know conclusively that texting increases the time people's eyes are off the road by as much as 400%. It is too dangerous, and nobody should be doing it, period. This legislation makes sense, as driving really hasn't gotten any easier in the last 30 years. Countries around the world are introducing laws in order to be more responsible with new technologies in driving. They're about making sure that we don't put people's lives at risk so that we can enjoy a convenience. The BC Medical Association is glad that this legislation is preventative through its restrictions, as well as offering tools for enforcement. This will reduce the number of collisions, injuries, and fatalities associated with distracted drivers on BC roads. Whether someone has the right to use a cell phone is no longer the issue. The issue is that a person does not have the right to risk the safety of others. The doctors of BC applaud this legislation. Minister Heed, congratulations to you and your government for making BC's roads safer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Brodie. And now I'd like to introduce Deputy Chief Clayton Pecknell, representing the BC Association.